You've probably been there before. You walk into a room full of people, and it hits you. You need to start a conversation, but you're stuck. The pressure builds, and suddenly, it feels like the hardest thing in the world. You keep wondering, what do I say? What if they don't respond? Well, I've got news for you. Starting a conversation with anyone is easier than you think. No fancy lines, no forced small talk. It's all about one thing: making the other person feel something. And here's the secret: you don't need to stress about the perfect question. You don't need to worry about impressing them or saying something witty. You just need to notice something about them, something real. Let me explain. The first thing you need to do is stop worrying about yourself. Forget about how you're coming across or whether you're being cool enough. Start by paying attention to the little details around you. Look at what the person is wearing, what they're holding, or even their body language. And no, I'm not talking about staring them down, just noticing something that stands out. Maybe they're wearing a quirky t-shirt, or they've got an interesting coffee cup. Maybe they've got an unusual accessory, or they're tapping their foot like they're in a rush. Here's the magic. Instead of asking a question, make a comment about what you've noticed. It doesn't need to be deep or life-changing, just a simple observation. For example, you see someone wearing a bright yellow jacket. You don't need to say, "Nice jacket," because that's what everyone else is going to say. Instead, say, "That's a bold color choice. I respect that." Just like that, you've made them feel seen, without the pressure of a question. You've left the door open for them to respond however they want. Let's take it further. You're at a party, and someone's holding a drink that looks a little strange. Instead of asking, "What are you drinking?" which can feel like a boring interview, try this. "Okay, you've definitely got the most interesting drink here. What's in that?" You're not asking for a yes or no answer. You're making them feel like they're the most interesting person in the room. Here's the thing: people love talking about themselves, especially when they don't feel like they're being interrogated. When you make an observation instead of a question, you give them the space to talk. And that's what makes a conversation flow naturally. And you might be thinking, but what if they don't respond? Here's the thing: don't be afraid of silence. Not every observation leads to a conversation. But when it does, you'll notice the connection right away. It's not about getting a response immediately. It's about starting a conversation in a way that's easy for the other person. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes. At first, it might feel a little awkward, but with time, you'll stop stressing about the start of the conversation. You'll just start noticing things and commenting naturally without even thinking about it. It'll become second nature. The more you'll realize something: conversations aren't meant to be perfect. They're meant to be real. And real conversations happen when you pay attention to the little things that others overlook. So, next time you find yourself in a room full of people and you need to start a conversation, remember this. Notice something, make a simple observation, and give them space to respond. It doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs to be real.